Hello, welcome back. Today we get to talk about love. It's one of my favorite subjects. I am incredibly excited to talk about it. Specifically, we're going to talk about how we misunderstand and misapply our concepts of love. I strongly believe that love is, in fact, not an emotion like we think it is and like how we treat it. And not only that, but I think that it's harmful that we treat love like an emotion, because then what we're doing is we're externalizing it. We're saying that love is something that I get from you, something that you make me feel, something that this makes me feel, something that someone makes me feel. The reason that I think that it's harmful that we treat love externally like it's an emotion that's given to us is because it kind of teaches us not to inherently have love, not to have love for ourselves or for other people, or to just exist within and through love. It is in a way saying that we're not good enough unless we are validated by this external source. The kitty, by the way, her name is Flora, and she is a wonderful cat. She saved my life, and that's how we became friends. Yay. So then you might ask, like, well, what is love then? If it's not an emotion, I'm pretty sure it's something that I feel. Well, and you feel something, and you can classify one of those somethings as a loving feeling, but love really, truly is kind of like the backbone of what we are. It's the thing that propels everything that we do and all of the other things that we feel and that we experience. It's our most natural and pure state. And when I say pure, I'm not saying that you're impure if you don't feel like you feel love. That's not true. You're perfect. The reason I believe that we have been taught to experience or to understand love as a external feeling and emotion is frankly because, the powers that be, they make a profit off of that love, not just on Valentine's Day either. Media, movies, romance novels, and even the teaching that we are incomplete and lacking of love propels us to buy, so we can make ourselves presentable enough to obtain that love, because it's something that we believe that we don't have, but something that we resonate with so hard. The reason we resonate with it, though, is because it is our natural state. It's something that's already there. So the wanting it's misappropriated, because we're not wanting the thing. We're just unaware that we're already experiencing it. And the reason that we're so into it, that we're so obsessed with it, is because we're already experiencing it, but we've been taught not to understand that, and so it becomes conflicting, and so we seek things to complete ourselves to find love. This, of course, creates a cycle, because that searching and that illusion of wanting this thing, it goes back to the beginning. That's what makes it a cycle, which is even more problematic, because once you get stuck into that cycle, you're stuck in the consistent frame of thought where I'm not enough, how could I be loved, how could this person love me, how could I love myself, I don't understand, what is love, what is this? It's a mess. And I think that correlates to depression. I do. I think that depression also gives to this negative cycle, and it's profitable, but we can unlearn that. We should unlearn that, and once we do, we will find a more peaceful place within ourselves, and a place of less wanting, and a place where stuff like detachment becomes, and healthy detachment, by the way, comes naturally, instead of something that we have to seek, that we have to find teachers to teach us how to feel. We have all the answers that we need. You have all the answers that you need. People like me talking about this stuff, our job is only to help bring it into awareness so that you could activate your own path, regardless of whether or not that's healing or learning or awakening or whatever. Of course, we cannot leave out the effect that this has on our interpersonal relationships, especially our romantic relationships. To say that I am not good enough because I need you to love me is to say that our relationship, regardless of what it is, what kind of relationship it is not stable unless we have a validation consistently. The problem with that is you can't be consistently validated. You can't, because validation is something that is given to you. You know, it's not something that's just there all the time. So this, at the very least, means that there's going to be chunks of our day, let alone our whole life, that we don't feel like we have love. So after we become aware of this, our job is to unlearn what we've been taught that love is, and to relearn and re-experience what it is, so that we could reapply it more appropriately into ourselves and into our relationships. This means that we have to potentially have a new understanding of our romantic and otherwise interpersonal relationships. So if you think about what our relationships are composed of now, it's essentially role playing. It's all based off of title, and that title is what the role is that the person is supposed to be playing, which of course builds expectations that are very often not realistic, because they're fabricated by the machine mind, by the powers, right? Back to that cycle from earlier. I, of course, am not going to tell you how to go about any of your personal relationships. That's for you. I am seeking a new way to go about this, but, you know, I like the whole shindig too. Either way, though, I do think that there's something very amiss and something new that we should build, something new that we should start to experience, something very fluid and very natural and very lacking of those expectations and that misidentified idea and concept of love and its application. Ultimately, I think it is time for us to move past our consistent searching and seeking and obsession with love, with our need to be in a relationship, our need to be validated so that we can experience or feel that sensation that we call love, and instead understand that we are that sensation, that it's already there and it's always going to be there and it's always been there. I believe that this is one of the most important things for us to learn in this lifetime, and one of the most important things for us to grow and bond as a people, as a living thing, as a spirit experiencing other spirits of other people, spirits of all life and all things in general, I think that once we let go of our old archaic ideas and concepts of love and understand that it's not something that we actually have to seek to understand, it's just something that is there. We allow it to be. We're no longer oppressing it. We're no longer putting it into this box, into this category, and its life force starts to take over and apply itself into our day to day. And once we do this, I think that we could go in such a beautiful, incredible direction. I think that we are being called to get to this point, to let go of all of our false understandings of love, to let go of all of it, to just completely drop it and unlearn and experience naturally without having to think about it. And this does mean that we might want to stop our our attempts to manifest love, to manifest partners, and to stop worrying about things like soulmate relationships and things like twin flame relationships, and just let it be. Let it be so that we can let it love. It is an absolute blessing to be able to talk to you guys about these things. Please let me know in the comments what your thoughts, what your take is on all of this, so that we could have a conversation, so that we could start to expand our understandings, and so that we can collectively start to form into each other. As always, I love you. You are loved. You are beautiful. I hope that you have a wonderful, beautiful, fantastic day, night, week, life. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Mwah.